be that fallback here when it comes down to it. So with that said, though, we're still just getting the last couple things set up here, getting before these games to start. Let's actually take a look at the team profile videos for both Stay Green and Stay Green EU. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. Stay Green taking on Stay Green EU. Again, it's almost as if we just saw this match here. Oh, wait, we did. We did see it very recently, of course, in the group stages. And Stay Green EU did take out Stay Green to continue their winning streak. And Stay Green EU undefeated in the group stages. That's 7-0.
It was a crazy match at that, but yeah. You know what? They're ready to get into this crazy match right here.
They are. In fact, we have loaded in, so we don't want to miss any of the action, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump in to, now I can say it, game number 1 here in this best set of 3 that we have coming at you at your screen, just like that. All right, Stay Green on the Legion side, Stay Green EU on the Hellborn side. Remember that, speaking of that group stage match, we did have the Sandwraith pickup from our Hellborn
team.
That's
right, and even a farm Moon Queen at the point, they had a nice advantage going on. Moon Queen went Energizer straight into Shrunken Head, but they as soon as they got that mock pickup, winded up getting a couple pickoffs to sort of delay it a little bit further. Eventually picked up that Shrunken Head, and with Shrunken Head, Sandwraith ulted and focused Swindle every single fight, playing that Witch Slayer. Pretty much stopped his ultimate from coming out for the rest of the game at that point, and well, made the fights pretty easy.
That had to be frustrating indeed for Swindlebell as a player. But again, that was just more so great execution on the part of Stay Green EU than anything. So not much he really could have done in most of those cases. He had the team support every now. I mean, the tablets were coming out. They were trying to keep alive with Ophelia, but it just wasn't enough.
Right. Well, tablets they're nice, but they're really helping you have a Bubbles ultimate on you too some of the time. So
Mummy Walls after the fact.
A bunch of just It was a disaster after a certain point, but yeah, either way, going into this game here, blind bans, let's see how they're tailored. Now that they're in the playoffs, man, there's a lot more on the line. They have to really have a question mark as to, are they saving anything? Are they holding back? This is
where you would expect to see it from Stay Green. Now, we've been saying it forever throughout the whole win streak. We're like, when are we going to say, well, they're not going to change anything because, don't fix what ain't broken, right? So, I mean, but maybe I could phrase this a little better, but something's clearly broken now. I mean, they've lost 3 games in a row. They lost to VDT. They lost to Stay Green EU. They lost to Complexity. 3 games in a row. So I think it's safe to say, now in these best of the 3s here in the playoffs here, you got to change something, right? So
I've got to say, sure, teams might be adapting, but I don't feel like it's the same Stay Green that we're used to seeing, man.
Yeah, you could argue their play is
there's mistakes. I mean, honestly, you could never count mistakes before, but we are seeing hiccups in their gameplay from what seemed like a perfectly well-oiled machine before.
Yeah.
Now stuttering a bit.
So here we are.
They actually banned out, but we should go over these. The blind bans pretty much the same on either side. Parasite Keeper of the Forest instead of that Tempest Keeper, so Parasite being banned out by SGEU. Lodestone Tundra, No surprise there coming out from Stay Green. Ophelia, Tempest, Deadwood, Fade, Witch Slayer, all locked up on top of that Pebbles. So
Yeah.
going to see Ophelia, Tempest in that battle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ophelia, I'm not sure we can go. We can't exactly look at the tourney stats so far, but I'm actually curious to see what her win rate is so far in this tourney. I feel like people have been handling her quite well.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I said, don't really have the stats in front of us, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's not as good as we expected or what we've seen in the past, really, when it comes down to it. So, just to clarify as well, the other series, I believe, Goldcast, he's currently casting the Myth S2Y versus ITS series, the 5 versus 8 seed there in the losers bracket. That also being the best of the 3, of course. So, again, every single match is going to be covered through the group stages and now all throughout the bracket stage. So. See the bands continuing. Mentioned the Santa Wraith into the Rally. Moon Queen Torturer. There's only one more band to go now on either side. You got Demented Shaman being right-clicked over there by my nuts. Pharaoh's going to be the final band from Stay Green. SGEU. Think about their final one themselves.
The locks, too, I want to point out there's Witch Slayer and Fade thrown in there. At least in the case of Witch Slayer, it's operating as more of a band. They know that Swindle's been playing a lot, especially in that safe lane role. Dominates a lot of suicide matchups, maybe some that Stay Green might be planning on running. So, yeah, taking that out and back to the drafting phase.
Yeah. Again, Swindle's a lot of these captives at the top level. I mean, they just know what to pick, man.
Well, no surprise, there was an Ophelia on the board, and we mentioned before in the previous game, Stay Green was denying them that master Ophelia or the Rally Ophelia combination. Actually, they did have. Who had the Rally that game? Did they have the Rally Ophelia?
It was Rally on Stay Green, I believe.
I believe Stay Green had Rally Ophelia in that game, but not.
Yeah, you could check back, actually.
Yeah, no, they did have Rally Ophelia. Kazu was playing that Rally, if I remember correctly, in that suicide lane in that game. We were talking about that matchup quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, did have Rally Ophelia, but didn't actually get that whole Rally Ophelia master combination, which would be so difficult to deal with.
If you did mess that game, again, you see on your screen right here, Haxer and just started to really take over. Again, they really screwed over the Witch Slayer 2 play with Swindle. So.
And the bubbles pick up. I mentioned that Witch Slayer might be trying to run a suicide that's normally heavily impacted here by a hero like Witch Slayer. Bubbles tends to get crushed by a Witch, and able to run the bubbles a lot easier now, especially considering they're expecting Ophelia, man. I mean, they picked up Master of Arms early. They're expecting Ophelia. What Tempest does gives it an eye for that bubbles, allows them to thrive now in that situation. So just a little bit more insight as to why Stay Green was drafting the way they were doing and why they were allowed to do that as well.
Zai, don't tease me. Don't tease me, Zai. Berserker being right-click there.
He's definitely teasing you.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Probably is.
You've got your Berserker, I've got my Cthulhu Font. We all have our...
Yeah, now I know what it feels like.
Yeah, feels bad, doesn't it?
It does. It sucks. Stay Green over here. Again, this is game 1 of a best out of 3, so this is not obviously a very important game still, but no matter what, there will at least be a one more. There's the Warbeast pickup, and then Pyromancer coming out, so it doesn't seem like anything too radical here.
No, really, it's what's expected. Scout was still on board, right?
Scout is on.
Yeah, Scout was still on the board, so it was really just the choice between Scout and Warbeast. Between the two of them, there was no other option at that point for them.
Yeah.
Now with how their teams have been playing lately, Draconis being highlighted by Haxer.
Haxer wants to play Draconis.
And we actually saw Draconis banned out versus Stay Green earlier, so still believing that there's hard carry potential to be found, and Draconis going to be drafted. Now, I've got to say, he did sort of fall off the scene for a little bit. I've always felt like, even back during to take a little bit of a hit, but not that much, teams sort of figure out how to play against him. But I saw Haxer pick up Steam Boots into an Energizer there before he went the Nullstone, the typical carry route. So the heroes definitely scales incredibly well as the game goes on. Stay Green trying to throw a curveball there into the plans of Stay Green, which may have been expecting the Tempest, but either way, they're confident with either jungler, and it's no surprise if Tempest is taken, they had to take that Ophelia.
Yeah.
And, well, Pebbles to round it on out. Fade or Deadwood. It's interesting because for the longest time, we saw Swindlemelons. I mean, obviously it's changed now with the Bound Die no longer being able to pick up on Fade. It leans itself a little bit more towards Deadwood, but a direct stun would be nice for their team. Going to pick up the Fade. Now, Pebbles versus Fade matchups is what I want to go over, though.
Yeah.
I brought this up. I think it was at GSL the last time I really had to discuss it. We haven't been seeing that much Fade lately. Yeah. But Pebbles versus Fade in the mid lane without outside interference, where they do have a Tempest and they do have an Ophelia on either side, so we're going to see who gets active first. But without outside interference, usually it's the Pebbles lane that has the much better time. Yeah. Still, Fade, once he hits level 6, has a much easier time disrupting the map compared to something like a Pebbles. And the nice thing is, Nullstone, pretty common pickup on Draconis. Not an item that Fade's concerned with.
Yeah.
Or Pyromancer, for that matter. Well, Pyromancer, the ultimate, sure, but in terms of getting that stun lockdown, has a stun that, place it on the ground. It's targeting the ground rather than the hero, so Nullstone does not activate off of it.
I just love watching the Stay Green team. They're on a 3-game losing streak, and going into this game, again, we don't have sound for a minute, but you can just see the visuals of the player cam. That they're pumped. I mean, they're getting into it. They're yelling at one another. Definitely hyping each other up. So, again, it's what's in the past is in the past. At this point, you move on to the bracket stage, and hey, it's a completely new story. So, definitely,
so
it's good to see that. The good spirits, at least.
Stay Green, hungry to try to take their, especially Slicks, man. He's been a Dreamhack countless times now.
Oh, yeah.
Hungry. Now that he's finally part of a team that really had no issues going into Dreamhack, definitely wants to take that win. Meanwhile, looking at the other side of things, Haxerin, he hasn't claimed a title yet. Minuts, Limp, and Zai both have. And Fitsky, if I remember back when he was in Lions, they actually lost Dreamhack. They placed 3rd or 4th there, but they actually won the NASL event. So still, a lot of people here hungry for their first Dreamhack title.
They sure are. See a pause coming out here from Stay Green EU to start things off, but you take a look at how things are shaping up amongst the laning phase. Not that anything would be too radical by any means, crazy, but you see also another side going to catch one another, so into the laning phase it go. Looks like it's understandable why you would pause during that. So Draconis going to be that short lane top though. Haxerin on Draconis again. He has been. If you were to have MVP awards for this event so far, maybe even for the group stages alone, Haxerin would have to be an MVP status. I mean, the stats that he put up from day one.
For sure. And it just goes to show you, it's all about the team synergy and how you work in the end. People for a while when he was on Complexity, especially, were criticizing him a lot. Oh, Haxerin's throwing the game. Haxerin, faded carry, used to be good. I think he's proving his haters wrong right now.
Yeah.
Well, good on him.
Yeah, exactly. So, middle lane matchup. Talked about it. The Pebbles Aluna versus the Pyromancer Fade here. We'll see who gets the upper hand as this game progresses on. Ophelia on the Hellborn side. Tempest on the Legion side, of course. As far as the jungle situation goes. Ooh, Burning
Shadows. Going for that early harass, potentially. But yeah, just barely whiffing there onto the Pebbles. So the early harass on Pyromancer eating through a lot of his regen. And definitely giving them that lane advantage.
We want to make sure everything is good here in this matchup here. So
look at Pebbles there, man, with the totems. That's actually pretty important to know because he's going to have his combination, spell combo a lot sooner now.
True. He's the 240.
Yeah, will be lended regen by his teammate, Fitsky, in his times of need. Bubbles, though. Bubbles, let's see. Him going against Master of Arms bottom. Mentioned they would have the lane deny for him. On top of the fact that not going up against something like a Witch Slayer, who's notorious for being able to really, really punish a hero like Bubble, still Master of Arms does great. And even using, maybe not that charge shot for the stun, but you actually wind up using your Forked Lightning more for harass onto the Bubbles, onto the creeps, and just in general will usually score a pretty solid time.
Yeah.
Master of Arms is pretty hard to stand up to. Pretty decent base armor and stats across the board.
Yeah, Slicks, he gets to be back on Master of Arms, a carry role that he is very comfortable with, and I think it was the GSL event, speaking back to that, where like every single game he seemed to play Master of Arms. What's that?
Oh, no, he used a charge out there. I think he wanted to get the creep kill as well, but was primarily using it for the harass. Wanted just barely missing the creep, but still boxing the Bubbles out as much as possible. And, yeah, no, it was the GSL event, you're right.
Yeah. So again, very comfortable in that hero, and we made the criticism this event that it seems like he's just maybe been a little out of touch, but maybe it's just been the team as a whole and how they've been performing. But
yeah, I really felt like Slicks has been, if anything's been on him per se.
Yeah.
Maybe the Grimoire item build was not something he should have been rushing in that. I honestly I can't really point too much criticism towards him. Just as a team, they haven't been clicking, man. It's hard to isolate one player's play when you know that they just haven't been performing well as a unit, and that just that really is what it boils down to. Ophelia with a Catman, going to actually run mid right away here. And Stay Green, Tempest is a little bit further away, so if they're able to find an angle here, this is very, very important. No stun yet by Pebbles, though, so he's not able to actually make anything happen. Looked like he was hanging out there because, you know what? Probably going to stack this medium camp, so he had a little bit of downtime to see if anyone would fall out of position. It not happening. And Pyromancer now going bottom for the Rune. Aluna heading top, and who's going to actually profit? Going to be be that a Luna picking up an illusion rune.
Gonna be able to use that for some extra harassment, perhaps. If not, also scouting things out. You see her sending in the illusion first, so maybe even gonna try to bait something out here, but not so much. Gonna end up joining together. Top lane matchup, Draconis. I would think he's having a really good time.
I actually think Draconis, by the way, is a phenomenal carry, and I didn't actually go into this at all yet, but I think Draconis is a phenomenal carry against a Warbeast. A lot of Warbeast damage. You might not think about it, but the Hellhounds, man, especially early to mid game, most of his damage during his ultimate form comes out from those Hellhounds. But meanwhile, mid lane.
Yeah, Powermancer going up. Powermancer will fall first. Pebbles barely staying alive now for long, though. Fade does get the final auto attack off, but Bloodlust kill in favor of Stay Green EU, and that was a 2 versus 3 right there. So the Illusion's even helping a little bit, and they get the Bloodlust kill. They got to be happy with that in the end.
Yeah, they've got to be happy with it still. You're looking at the Pebbles which dropped and the Fade who lived, so yeah, Bloodlust kill, but it was a bit of a bittersweet victory.
Yeah.
Still, Pebbles sitting on solid farm. And Fade, who I mentioned might have a little bit more problems in this matchup now that he got that Bloodlust kill. Actually, who claimed it? Yeah, someone else did. No, he didn't claim the Bloodlust kill, but he claimed the kill onto Limp, I should say. Sitting on a pretty good spot right now. But going back to Draconis, a lot of that damage is, it comes out from the Hellhound. So a hero like Draconis, who has an immense amount of magic AoE, very effective at dealing with it. Not to mention, against fast-moving targets that have Energizer, or even Draconis here just using the Blazing Fight as well, Warbeast has a hard time doing damage. He really relies on them to be sort of locked down there. So, very capable of kiting even the hasted Warbeast. Yeah, and actually, speaking of Draconis, by the way, look at Ophelia setting up perhaps with the Minotaur right here. Maybe thinking about going from behind. Going pretty deep. And Warbeast, as far as Suicide Heroes go, is very vulnerable. What is he going to do? He's not even sitting on boots right now. Not going to actually make it happen just yet. He seems like he's going back and forth trying to decide. And, well, with a Luna here, might be able to make something happen. They don't have any vision. Just gonna go back to the woods in the end. Yeah, so no gank gonna be set up. But speaking of Draconis, once again, it's been a little bit. It seems like since we've seen it. I wonder if the build is still the same. The Null still in the Shrunken Head, the Savage Maze. That's what it seems like. Or I was watching as I mentioned before. In the previous game, and well, I'm always a fan, and if you look at his starting items right here, the Pretender's Crown and Duck Boots, I think it lets us know he's probably going to be going it, but the Energizer, that's true. The Energizer build-up, and well, going against Stay Green, they go for a lot of those early mid-team fights especially. They earned that term, the Stay Green train, so to speak, which I never thought was a bad thing. I thought they were showing excellent time pushes, excellent teamwork, but, you know, going for one of those build-up items at Energizer, instead of just going for straight for items, which will benefit you when they're completed, but not so much in the process. Tempest is here, however. Oh, yes, he is back to the middle lane. Pebbles in some trouble. Double damage fade out of it. Not going to be enough for the kill, though. Are you serious? Pebbles will barely get away. Jeez. Oh, beautiful cover there. Perfectly timed to Luna stun, and Tempest just out of reach. The stun coming out, Elemental Void not used, and yeah, he gets on out of there. Yeah. So in spite of the double damage fade, able to avoid that gank, and well, a little break in Tempest's farming rhythm at least. Oof. Limp at least got a turnaround kill the first time. This time he barely escapes with his life. So Limp is living life on the edge. But you look at that GPM now as a result of everything that's playing out. He is second in the game, only behind his teammate, Draconis, right there. So very good news for SGEU and getting him that early portal key, of course. Could be very beneficial. So look at his farm and you compare it to the Fade, and well, it's what I was telling you about before the game, man. In spite of no Ophelia ganks, really, 325 gold per minute, 32 CS versus Fade 19. Yeah. Wow, that courier happened to fly right over Ophelia as she was going in to set up that gank, and that gave Warbeast all the information he needed. Exactly. In terms of falling back, so. Fade home to the refreshment rune. Yeah. But, more importantly, Tempest with his haste. Looks like he was trying to find an angle again, but not so much, and, well, back to the jungle he goes. Actually swarming the bottom lane instead. Maybe trying to catch Bubbles off guard. He does have Elemental Void, and if he manages to stun him out, would be able to make this happen. Are you going to... Nope. He was trying to bait something. You could tell Master was trying to get take cover, but couldn't get him to use it. So in the end, maybe set up a push here. Bubble's pretty effective at delaying it, at least, with that Shell Surf spam. Yeah. Also, if they push it too much, not Elemental Void, but the Kelp Field, might be able to catch them as they try to run away here. Tempest is already a little bit low on health, so he has to be careful. A Kelp Field onto the Shell Surf with one other nuke from his team would be enough, even a power throw. Yeah. And we actually see a Luna rotating towards the bottom. Nope, back to the mid. I was lying.
Ring of Sorcery finished on Chessie. Ported from Pebbles, but just going to continue to farm with that. I think I might have tried to play aggressive there against Pyromancer, but obviously he's just a little too far back, so
yep.
Not going to happen. Fade also supports back in, so back
to lane control in favor. Oh, looked like they tried to go.
Oh, bottom lane. Tempest. He tried to ultimate, actually. I didn't even catch that, but it did go on cooldown right there. Fade is going to fall in the process. In the middle lane, Ophelia coming in, obviously getting the gank right there. In the top lane, Draconis diving. Warby's big time, but Warby's will be fine. So the Tempest ultimate gets canceled. I don't know if that was simply by bubbles or if that just happened to be a stutter step there, but unsuccessful in terms of getting
bouncing between the fights right there.
So many
Elemental Void was canceled. We saw the freeze. Did he just pour it out and was it casted for a split second afterwards?
I guess so. I think that's what it was. Maybe he just poured it out a little too fast and Chessie just realized it and so stopped. So
yeah, I mean they clearly got the sun off. It looked like for a certain point there, but in the end, Ophelia's ultimate being used. Top tower going to be taken for free.
Yep. Well, vulnerability coming out. He'll port back the Minotaur with him, but we do see ports coming in pretty big time here from State Green, and it is going to be enough to deny the tower. He's a couple of resources,
not
though.
For free, then. The 3 ports had something to say about that along with the glyph. Still 3 ports, and they didn't really convert any kills off of it. That was an investment. Of course, the TP scroll for each hero, as well as the time now, as they have to sort of scamper back to the lane. Fade, not level 6 yet. Has to go back and has to be a little bit careful. No one's nearby, and Pebbles remotely lands a stun, and he has lane control right now a little bit. Oh, look at that poke already. So, gotta be careful. Fade getting really, you can tell he's close to level 6. He's just trying to poke for that experience.
Maybe this one, yep, deny happening.
And you gotta be careful of that Aluna bounce stun as well, though, if you're Swindlemelon. So, as long as he gets level 6, I know he knows how to be very effective with the hero. Let's see if he does have another port on him, so wouldn't be surprised he in level 6 port to a lane and make something happen, especially maybe on the Draconis, who's having a field day up here. And doesn't actually go for the Energizer yet. Did get that life tube early on.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like, again, he's now saving up about 1,000 gold, so maybe now towards the Energizer, but we'll see. We'll see where Haxerin goes from here. What else? Yeah, Pyromancer. Of course, Z-Freak playing the support Pyromancer. He's just struggling on buy. Got a couple of Ward of Sights that set him Ward of Rev on him, as well as the Mana Battery, but not much else, so gonna pick up farm where he can get it, though, and actually hitting level 5 right there. Master of Arms pushes the bottom lane. He's level 8, and he, of course, has had a solid time, has Slicks. Just over 300 gold per minute now.
I think this actually might be the... hard to say in the game. I think even in that game he got ganked. I think this is the lowest gold per minute I've seen Keizu at, but he's still doing his best to recover. Just was a tough matchup up top with that Draconis and then some of the pressure from Ophelia. Still, he always finds a way to be effective here. Yeah, straight Sustainer picked up.
Ooh.
Fade with that ultimate, but... not able to make anything happen just yet. Remember, they have an Ophelia. Gonna try to destroy the Haste Rune.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Stops Fade from picking it up and perhaps getting an opening for himself. So, yeah, smart play from my nuts right there, playing the Ophelia.
Was indeed a smart play from my nuts.
Ah, you're trying. You're reaching. That didn't work.
Okay. Well, either way.
It has to happen once every event, right?
Yeah.
Only once. But yeah, so Ophelia going to fall back to the jungle and continue up that farm. But yeah, Haxerin going that Sustainer, I mean, again, still could eventually work towards the Energizer here, but middle lane, no, again, not going to really follow. Actually, dodge the Pyromancer stun right there, tucks it back into Ophelia. Ophelia going to assist. Very good sidestep from Limp coming out. Sets up all of that in the first place.
Yeah, I was going to mention Ophelia with the perfect creep setup essentially right now. Kelpfield going on top lane though. Warby sort of locked down. Draconis is applying the pressure.
Warby's putting
the Master's call last second, having something to say about it, man. So he was watching. In the end, not getting the kill, but still forcing Warby's back to base. Not gonna have the ultimate up for a little bit here, and well, Draconis keeping up that pressure, man. And everywhere across the map. But yeah, Ophelia having the perfect creep synergy right now. The double Minotaur stomp on top of the Skeleton King. So gonna keep looking for them to apply pressure mid lane. I talked about Fade rotating to the side. He's just going top right now to pick some experience, though. Because he's starved, he doesn't really want to keep that action up. No one's in the bottom lane. Ophelia's touch is down, but his team, because of the fact that they're down this much right now, and they don't necessarily have anything like an Aluna power throw to assist long range, it's a little bit harder for him to find those angles.
We also saw right there with the gank attempt onto Warbeast, the power that Bubbles can bring to the table against that Warbeast. Of course, as we've talked about many times before.
Yeah, very good with a Warbeast as well. Just,
yeah, true.
Bubbles pretty much the definition of anti-kite there with that kelp field. Actually punishes you for running away. So
obviously, the Shrunken Head will change everything, but
of course,
ways to get there for Warbeast. If that, you probably usually won't get that first anyway. So
usually the Abyssal Skull is just such a almost imperative for him. It increases his farming so much, and then you see the Shrunken Head come out.
Yeah, Energizer just finished by Slick, so he goes the Energizer route again. Not a surprise there by any means. When we did see Slick's play Master of Arms,
Slick's actually popular from known for actually popularizing the build of going Energizer, especially on Master of Arms.
Continuing that here, but yeah, the sustainer pickup by Draconis, I was gonna say, it really will open up the door for him in terms of farming a lot more effective.
Actually using some potions here so you can keep killing the Ancients.
Yeah.
And keep going afterwards. Lose aggro for a sec there. Just wants to be able to use that Blazing Flight and continue on.
Remember, these were buffed. I mean, the Dragon Master, since we haven't really seen Draconis with that, it's been a while to the point of that Runic Shift patch happened, and Dragon Masters did get buffed.
They were buffed. It's not monumental, though, and still when it comes to Ancient Clears, Draconis is always going to be one of the better ones due to the nature of his abilities.
Of course, yeah. Still want more
everyone took a nerf essentially to ancient farming, so sort of scaling back together.
So heading back to base right now, 2100.
That Nullstone going to be picked up here. I talked about the early game pickups, but picks up the recipe here actually.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, because he can farm it and then grab the ultimate orb at the side shop, or the blessed orb, I should say.
That makes sense.
He didn't have the gold for the blessed orb just yet, so was a little bit shy. Figures he's going to have the farm time up here top. Fate now level 7, and well, Reflection used. They were trying to find an angle there to maybe take out the Pebbles in mid, but not finding again. Bottom rune spawning at 14. State Green, I've got to say, even though they're a little bit down right now, still makes a point to always control the runes. And Refreshment rune, bad luck there. Double damage on top, and
oh, the Hellhound's getting back.
No, Hellhounds, no.
We saw it earlier.
Yeah, it's a little bit of revenge paid over to, I think Ophelia did the same in the face of Fate earlier while she was using her reflection, so, well, you know. Good answer. Karma, baby.
Yep, it is a bitch. Draconis continuing to push at the top lane, but it will start to fall back now, understandably. Still out of gold, or not enough gold for that Blessed Orb, but it is coming quickly. Crossing is at 2100 here.
I'm curious to see if Ophelia actually leaves the creep camp here for Buddy Draconis. No, Minots is not going to share the wealth. He's like, hey,
farm 2.
Are you going to stack it at least? Pull it out? Nope.
Nope. Not going to do that.
Minots just, it's like, screw you, Hexerin. You're not worthy.
Of course, Ophelia's farm, speaking of that, about 240 gold from in here. Oh, middle lane. I'm guessing that was a portal key jump. Yep, he just got the portal key recently. And showing it off to Swindlemelon. So just like that, Fate's dead, and now they're going to push this middle tower. It should be a tower kill. Pyromancer going to go for the deny, not nearly in time. And actually, he might be in trouble. Going for the TP. He's going to be spotted. The Minotaur goes out. There's a chuck in the air. And down falls Z-Freak. Double tap for Fitsuke, actually. Playing that Aluna right there.
Yeah, it was going to be already difficult enough for him to score deny here against the Pebbles, against the Ophelia minions, but doing so gave away his positioning. And then trying to TP out, he knew he couldn't run out because they were going to scout him, and they have a portal key on Pebbles, so he was pretty much screwed at that point. Giving a Stay Green EU team, which is already having quite the early advantage, an extra edge here.
Yeah. Look at this. The push will begin here. Nullstone just finished by Draconis again. Ophelia, obviously a great assistance with this. Does have what is his army like? He has a Skeleton King, and that's it, actually, it looks like. So not the biggest army for Ophelia, but a little bit of a threat there. This tower is going to drop. Can they deny? Maybe invulnerability coming out. Stay Green setting up for a fight right here. Off to the side, he got Fade. He has the Invis opening onto Ophelia, perhaps. There's a call. The Printing Shell slinging both heroes on Bubbles as well. But Pebbles jumps in. There's him killing Ophelia, but Fade dies. The Tempest ultimate is going to be canceled there right off the bat. The Kefil comes out. Draconis with that Cataclysmic Assault again. Welcome back. The Red Dragon doing some damage. We do have Bubbles falling in the background, though, and the tower was denied on top of that by
Beautiful
Keizu.
fight. Beautiful fight coming out from Stay Green, finding the angle. Someone's doing an excellent job there, opening up onto the, was it on the Ophelia at first? I think he opened up onto the Ophelia and then he chain stunned onto the Bubbles, so prevented initial counter initiation. He went in, winded up catching. Tempest ultimate was canceled, but Warbeast cleaning up house and denying that tower too. So
yeah,
fantastic play across the board.
Yeah, very good fight right there coming out between the two teams. As Stay Green, though, they do come out on top, you could say, perhaps, but
oh no, definitely
did.
Denied the tower and well, a little bit back on the gold graph at least.
At the same time, though, we do have a Draconis, and obviously, again, it's been a while since it feels like he used to be every game. But
we have a Draconis, but still, okay, he's at 460. Yeah, but Master of Arms, phenomenal late game carry. Warbeast, if he's able to find his momentum, also able to make it happen.
Let's take a look at that fight once again real quickly.
Sure.
Well, again, we do have some dead time here, so back to the top lane again. The initiation onto Undermine Us, as you were talking about, playing that Ophelia.
Yeah, that double stun. See, that actually interrupts Bubbles from being able to cover his team fast enough. Pebbles initiates, actually takes him out, but Warbeast up in front. I mean, Draconis is trying to put out the damage here. Bubbles, though, he went in deep with that Shell Surf.
Yeah.
That was probably a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think he thought his team was in a much better spot than they were. So if you look here, they're actually pretty confident as the fight. Well, okay. They get pretty confident as the fight goes on. Draconis actually fends them off.
Yeah.
Still, it was more of a case of Bubbles losing his positioning there.
Wow, we see right there. Tempest nearly dying, actually, as Pebbles jumped him, but Defensive Master Call comes out, help keeping him alive.
Yeah, and I shouldn't say out of position. He needed to get in close if he wanted to use that Song of the Sea. But, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, you're right. The Bubbles getting hit by the Burning Shadows, no doubt, helped change a lot of that fight, perhaps. So, or regen rune even. Bubbles gonna walk right over it, but his team's doing Kongor. So, look at this. Stay Green has no clue.
Well, they have no clue, but well, they also have no reflection. He used it earlier trying to make something happen. No reflection can make it a lot harder. Fate doesn't have his portal key yet.
Yeah.
Now he's only sitting at 174 gold per minute. Warbeast still trying to find his stride, so that's going to be a token up on Draconis now. And well, they've been aggressively pushing towers. Now they can have Draconis there wailing on the tower with really no fear of getting punished.
Wow, that's a big Kongor kill.
Expect to see Warbeast. No port on him, actually, so he doesn't need a port. I was going to say expect to see him maybe go top, push this as Stay Green is pushing bottom. And, well, if nothing's done about it, I wouldn't be surprised to see them convert too. If Warbeast winds up pushing top, maybe expect to see the bottom tower taken and then a port to save the top lane.
Yeah.
But either way, mid lane being pressured here too, so they are trying to apply the split push. Still, they push that much faster. And they can pick a fight wherever they want. I mean, they are a little bit split right here. Warbeast isn't with the team. Just picked up a port, though, but with no mid-tower, no first-year mid-tower, he's going to be late getting to the fight.
Yeah, complex.
Both lanes pressured.
SGEU going to keep this going. Oh, yeah, there's a Kelphill coming out. So Bubbles is great at the power throw going through. The port's still coming at
Actually,
the Tempest ultimate canceled immediately right there. Cataclysmic Assault going off, getting us up by the Burning Shadows. But Haxford's still looking to do plenty of damage. He's going to chase with that Blazing Flight. Fade is on the run. He does not have a reflection. He will get away in the process as everyone does escape. So Bubbles is the only one to fall right there.
Well, Pebbles winded up basically doing nothing, man. He jumped in trying to combo the Fade. Sunamon's activated that reflection, and it looked like he basically comboed. Can we actually go check that back again? Or I'm not. I swear to God, he jumped in there and it looked like he just did nothing with his combo. I forget what he tossed, if it was a creeper, if he something else, but I really didn't see anyone burst it down quick by the Pebbles. So quick pick off. Keizu was split farming the entire time. All right, let's look here. Pebbles. Wait, that was after the combo, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, it just sounds like I don't think he unfortunately got the
but
that,
didn't actually get much done. So they're on out. Keizu was solo farming top throughout all of it. They brought their entire team there, not only to get solo experience, also push that tower in the end, and mid tower falling as well. So Stay Green gaining quite a bit of map control and a lot more presence now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
exactly what they needed, man.
Of course. You got Master of Arms continuing to farm at the bottom lane again. That Shrunken Head getting closer and closer now. Speaking of Shrunken Head, Tempest with that Mighty Blade. Definitely wouldn't be surprised to see the Shrunken Head on him, obviously. And once he gets that, the Skeleton King going to be the only thing that's stopping him and getting a good Tempest ultimate off. So,
yeah. I feel like Stay Green really needs this game, man. That they're a team that, well, it's obvious that they sort of thrive on momentum here.
Yeah.
Well, we actually saw them come back. I think there was a number of times they actually came from the losers bracket in Han Tour and actually winded up taking it all anyway. So not afraid to come back in the face of adversity, but still, I mean, they've been down, man. That's 3 losses so far in this tournament. Winning this game might help them regain their spirits.
Oh, yeah. Again, a big game for just so many reasons, of course. With that said, too, it is a best out of 3, so to keep clarifying that, I know more and more people tuning in, and Again, this is the bracket stage, just beginning from the winner's bracket here. We got Stay Green taking on Stay Green EU, number 1 and 4 seeds going out of here from the winner's bracket. And it is a best out of 3. So we got game number 1 here. And it's definitely been a fun battle to start things off in this series. Middle secondary tower, it's going to be pressured enough. It's going to fall. Stay Green not even interested in terms of remotely defending it there.
Shrunken Head. Energizer on Draconis, by the way. He did eventually convert that. Shrunken Head almost up by Slicks there. 500 shy right now. Definitely eager to pick it up, but not going to be able to get it before this fight. Also, Warby's hungry for it, but still needs about an extra 1,000 gold on his end. Otherwise, a lot of pressure. Fade porting back into base is still in the fountain, however, so I don't think they're going to jump just yet. So they have a window to at least kill the base tower. That's going to make this fight that much easier.
That double damage Draconis, I mean, it's understandable, honestly. That is scary, man. You do not want to be charging into that. And before you know it, the game could be over.
You know what's important, though?
What's that?
Look what our buddy Fade has. And part of why he showed up late to that fight.
Yeah,
finally found his portal key.
Yep.
And that's honestly a game changer, especially when you're going up against a Bound Eye. If he was going up against a Bound Eye, a Luna, minus a portal key, no way.
Not going to happen.
No way. You're going to be food.
Well, he's got that now, and maybe they can make use of it right away here. Yeah, Bubbles' eyes weary enough at the situation. He is going to fall back in time.
Right.
In fact, using the portal key himself to even get further distance before any pickups happen. So, Draconis, 3,000 gold saved up, so well on the way to the Shrunken Head here as far as his next item pickup most likely. And again, we still the Draconis, that's what I was saying. The Nullstone, even mixing in the Energizer this time around, but Nullstone, Shrunken Head, and then you get your damage item, whether you like the Geometer's Bane or the Savage Mace, usually are the two that we see the most, or saw the most, I should say. He gets scary. He gets scary.
For sure.
Meta is finishing up a Master of Arms, so that is big. As well as Warby's now.
Being cleared as well. In their favor, they look like they're trying to apply some pressure top, maybe to catch someone off guard as they try to defend it. Cinemon's looking for that level 11 as well. Fate becomes that much stronger. Reflection's actually, I mean, it's nice in those lane pickoffs, but actually utility pickoffs in the middle of the map and trying to use it effectively. That cooldown reduction, the extra duration makes it way, way easier. So, it's hungry for it.
He's been going back and forth with the gold per minute chart, of course, and just looking at it now, 534 gold per minute for Draconis. He is leaps and bounds ahead of really everyone else in this game at this point.
Yeah, Shrunken Head now completed by Master and also getting closer to it on Warby. So, honestly, I feel like they would have had an easier time forcing a fight a little bit before that. Still, they have an Energizer, they have an Ophelia here. The heal, it's still capable of kiting is my point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Going to be really important for Minuts to see how on point he is with that Skeleton King, which he actually doesn't have one right now. Just a Catman and 2 Minotaurs. And Tempest, who's also rushing Shrunken Head, will have it in 700 gold. And Sagreen's is buying time for that moment.
Fade level 11, so that reflection getting a little more powerful with that said.
Yeah.
As far as what he's bringing to the table. So you see he's kind of scouting out right now.
I almost wonder if Draconis is feeling he's tanky and has the token, if he might look to pick up something like a Savage before that Shrunken Head and have another way to cancel it. Fade actually up here in the top lane, but no one else around.
We'll say hello and then put a key away. So yeah, even so, the token of life was wearing off. It was a case of, even if you went through all the effort of killing him, it would just been like, okay, well,
yeah,
not that big of a deal. So not worth it there for Stay Green. They need those Shrunken Heads. There's the War Beast one. Tempest is that next one to line as we keep going back to. So
yeah, I mean, he has it for the next fight. I mean, if he needed to, he could sell something and pick it up.
Course.
So his vestments will only be 100 shy, but yeah, no, he'll have it. They're content. He's actually sitting at 5,100. He might just be going for that Savage.
Yeah, that's
at this
true.
point. I mean, he has the build up, he has the stats, and hasn't really been getting focused down here. Nullstone going to protect him from either that charge shot or the Pyromancer's ultimate. So I probably figures he has enough protection. It's time to actually put out the damage and be a real threat.
Yeah, yeah, and then, you know, you figure again with the Shrunken Head, you get caught in a Tempest ultimate, it's not going to do much.
Well, you know the results of a level 16 Draconis with that Savage, and he actually is.
Yep.
Going to assist a lot in that base push as well. When they eventually do go to convert it and get another Conqueror kill, going to make that go faster.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to kill the outer tower right here, but I doubt they're going to go much further, even if they kill the outer tower.
Also helps him pack a punch here against these Shrunken Heads and just make sure he's able to put out enough damage.
Yeah, very true.
Because otherwise he's just more of a magic damage thing. Sure, he puts out some hits, but yeah, that Savage Mace is what.
Savage,
yep.
We've seen that many, many of times. So the tokens, or Congo, I should say, but it's got to be about 2 minutes, a minute and a half maybe, before he's showing up. So yeah, they're not even pushing that secondary tower yet. They really want to wait for the Congo kill at the very least, and make it a little bit more secure as far as actually pushing heads. Speaking of shrunken heads, Limp was able to pick up his too in the recent history. So obviously more good news for State Green EU. Barrier Idol in the works for Ophelia. There is officially the shrunken head for Tempest. And we constantly see the glowing hands here on State Green's side. Obviously that's coming from the battle cry from Warby, so something else to keep in mind.
If Draconis wasn't on a team with an oh god, meanwhile,
oh, no, Tempest
is caught out. He just picked up his shrunken head. This is a crucial moment.
Oh,
no buyback.
No, he's
oh
going to
no,
fall.
that is the worst timing imaginable. That is absolutely the worst.
This Ward of Sight right here must have spotted him. Obviously didn't catch the beginning.
Oh
of
no,
that,
for sure. And they were all in position and no buyback right now. They've got to be feeling the stress. Savage Mace picked up. There's no way they're going to have enough damage to fend off this push without that Tempest. Are they just going to let it fall? Are they going to, if they attempt to defend it and die, that will be game.
There we go.
Fade going in, but oh no, only stuns the Draconis.
There's Ophelia's touch, just keeling up the creep wave, keeling up all the heroes. Yeah, they've given up with the racks, obviously. Again, it's understandable. If you go in and die, which would be very likely anyways, you've lost the game at that point. So this, if anything, just is their best chance, but it's still a very, very bad place to be in. Tempest getting picked off.
Pretty much no one with buybacks here except for the Master of Arms if he were to die. And they're going straight. They're trying to get more. At least applying pressure here. Well, they got the second tower on bottom, and they figure, hey, now we're going to wait for the token. That was without a token. They managed to take the racks, man.
Yeah.
That just means they're able to attack the base a second time, convert it for a second pair.
I'm just waiting for Congo right here. Okay. 33?
No. Congo's coming up. Yeah, 33 seconds, actually. Should be coming up here on about
oh, the
5
33
seconds.
Gotcha. I was like 30 minutes.
Should be up at like 3 seconds here to... Well, actually, sorry. It was 30.
Very close, very close. Almost.
I'm always wrong.
Almost.
2 seconds shy there, but either way, Congo's up and Stay Green. Well, their wards being sweep for the Minesweeper, aka Fitsky, picking up an Invis rune as well, and that'll be crucial for his positioning here against Kong. I mean, not really.
They have a rev on Pyro.
They do, but they don't have it down yet. And actually, Kitch got crucial red stun out of the
big
4 seconds.
Bubbles coming in right there. 1 kill already on a Pyromancer. Tempest in a Bath Body gets the Elemental Void off. He is going to get a good duration, actually, but no follow-up damage. Master of Arms locked up the whole time during that. Down falls Fade. Tempest just going to run away right now. He will eventually go down. Master of Arms was in the background. He was dealing with others. I believe it was Bubbles that was giving him a big distraction. Ophelia the only one to die for SGEU, but they're going to go right back to Kongor, and they are going to guarantee this kill. So big red stun to start that off.
Minotaur stun coming out a millisecond too late. I mean, it was great that Chessie got the ultimate off. Just barely caught a bunch in it, but they didn't have the damage, man. They didn't have the damage. This is going to be a free token. Oh, man. The Elemental Void now down for 150 seconds. Ophelia will have the heal up when she revives. I mean, does have it, just is dead. Bubbles ultimate up in 35 seconds. This gives them a very clear window to go knock on their base bottom.
I'm looking at the Cataclysmic Assault. I believe he used it there. It is a very short cooldown, so I assume that he did use it at 45 seconds. Okay, it looks like we do have that. So actually, let's take a look back at that fight, of course.
Look at the Minotaur stun now here. I believe he actually could have gotten it off if he was slightly faster on the click. I believe he was in range. The 4 seconds. There it is!
Yep. Oh, no.
It would have been close. It would have been close.
Very close, yeah.
Would have had to use it at max range of the stun.
Right there. Oof. God, that was
Putting out
close.
the Cataclysmic Assault, but no, and the Shrunken Head's off.
See, there's no damage coming out.
No, exactly.
I mean, Ophelia did fall in the midst of that, but no
it's
big
just,
deal.
in the end, it's...
She already got her ultimate off, so...
Not enough Warbeast forced to scatter back at this point. His ultimate pretty much tapering down. Bubbles dodging that charge shot with his take cover, and Stay Green forced back in the end.
SGEU, big fight, big plays.
Look, they're wrapping up bottom. They know that Elemental Void is down, pushing up the lane as fast as they can. Shrunken Head up on Pebbles, Bulwark up, of course, and just make this push that much easier. You're going to have to do something.
Yeah, 560.
No buyback on Warbeast. Did pick up a Bulwark for himself. Fade the only one that could potentially buy back if he took a death.
Yeah.
Draconis, a little bit late to the party here, but not so much as he's hasting around and be there in just a second. Had to get rid of the Energizer for a token, making sure he's still holding a Homecoming Stone, so a little bit of a lesson there in terms of item priority. Making sure you have that Homecoming Stone, because the only way they can potentially lose now is by getting cheese.
Yeah.
You know?
It would be fun
Well,
to
not
have a
only
stat.
way, but one of the primary ways.
It's their game to lose is
right.
a good way to put it.
Savage Mace showing the effectiveness right now with that earlier pickup. And with that Shrunken Head on Draconis for this fight, sure, he doesn't have buyback, but they're not exactly able to convert it even if they were to kill him.
Yeah. A little bit of a jump right there, but again, just more distraction if anything. But I was going to say, it would be interesting to get a stat on, especially what we saw Draconis through the Haunter cycles, of whenever he got this trio of items, the Shrunken Head, Nullstone, Savage Mace, what his win percentage was. Because I find
I feel
it
like,
hard to believe
team's
that
always reaching for there, and if they don't
yeah.
lose, yeah.
If you get that, that's just it's just devastating, man. I mean, the push that happens, the team fight presence with that Cataclysmic Assault is just absurd. But you really, really need to play it perfect, basically, to be able to win and come back from that. So they're just going to keep pounding into the base. The Savage Mace, of course.
He's actually walking up. He doesn't care about a creep
like,
wave.
I'm tired
He's
of waiting.
Well,
Let's just go
answer
to
this.
Ooh,
9 coming out from 6.
Yeah,
Well
not really
timed,
worried
well
about
played,
that.
but in the end, it's a base tower down, and they do still have Token Draconis and go up here and start working on the racks, literally on sitting that acid bomb. So trying to hang the outside there. Going to be without a creep wave, however.
Up and down again. It makes it so difficult with that token that you don't want to blow everything initially if you're state green and then have to deal with the token after. There we go. The jump though. Cole coming out. Pebbles with the reaction. That Tempest all the way going to go off though. He is going to get the full duration. It looks like Draconis will end up falling from Master of Arms with tons of damage in the background actually. But here comes Draconis. Cataclysmic Assault as soon as it comes back up. A pretty good spread from state green honestly. But the melee racks is falling. Haxrank going to finish it off. He's trying. It's not going to be finished just yet. Going back in. The melee racks will fall. There's the Blazing Flight to look to get away. Master of Arms be locked down. Warby's also being locked down. He does not have the ulti farm. He had a Shrunken Head, but couldn't get it off in time. He ends up dropping, but Draconis does also fall, and Stay Green at least has a little bit of a victory at the end there. But the damage was done. The melee racks goes down, and that is what SGEU went in for.
Well, not only a double set, I'm not sure if you saw that there when Pebbles went in. Might be time to turn off allied help. He actually got chucked by the Pebbles, and Pebbles was looking to grab a hero. Pebbles actually winded up chucking that Draconis up in the air. Lost him a little bit of time.
That's unfortunate. All right, so, well, let's actually, speaking of that, I'm actually very curious now to see that myself because watching so many other things.
Someone on the Legion team blast him into the air like a Draconis, like a Master of Arms shot.
Well, we see here, okay, so there's the opening. There he gets chucked in. He got chucked in with Pebbles.
Yeah.
As Pebbles was running in, so.
And
granted, the Tempest ultimate basically hit right there anyway.
Yeah,
so
might have been trying to kite backwards before it clipped him, but yeah, either way.
See him get picked off, but again, the token. Look at that spread though by State Green. They did play that very well.
Well, actually, going back to that, they knew they had a window where the Tempest ultimate wasn't up for a while. They took a while in that actual push, though. They weren't entirely confident in just wailing in the tower and then switching to the rack. So the fact that the Tempest ultimate did cool down throughout all that.
Yeah. And then I want to see how Draconis dies, actually. He's trying to run away right here. I was watching the bottom.
He turns around and actually mans up, starts putting out damage, and they get a pretty important pick off there. Not important, but a pick off on the
yeah, Blazing Strikes was used there at the last second, too. Helped burst him down, so. And that was a level 11 power match at the time. Top lane in the meantime. Back to the actual game. Bubbles does get picked off, so Master and Fade come together.
Well, that led way to Tempest here. Everybody, Tempest picking up a portal key himself. Was landing huge ultimates already just with the Shrunken Head. And now that he has a portal key, going to be that much more important for Ophelia to make sure she has a Skeleton King minion back. But even with that, well, actually he has 2 Skeleton Kings and a Minotaur, so pretty good spread for considering they are going up against the Shrunken Head portal key Tempest.
Oh, I mean, Master of Arms is doing a lot of damage, and I got to assume Warbeast is also doing plenty, especially when
look at the
charts. Metamorphosis farm.
Master of Arms is actually sitting at 18% this game.
Yeah.
The leader right now.
Yeah, obviously a lot of things coming to play with that, but yeah, he seemed like the last fight he was dishing out quite a bit there, sitting in the background. Oh, down here, Power Master trying to get away. Will they actually get away? Oh, he is going to get away. The stun must have been on cool, or I guess he just didn't have the vision. I'm not exactly
sure.
sure.
The power throw maybe didn't give him vision in time, or maybe a misclick. Hard to say. Pyro pick off once again would have been nice. Level 12, no buyback. Would have at least bought him time to. I don't know if they wanted to actually entirely force a base push now. They don't have the token again, and they already have the melee racks on bottom. So naturally, if they just go around and farm the map, they're going to be acquiring a gold and experience advantage. Though the creeps giving reduced amounts now that they've upgraded.
Yes, sir. You got Stay Green here, moving around again. Fade not 16 just yet, but still 14 in fact. But still able to roam around and look for that opportunity. Needs to be careful. The Bound Eye coming from Aluna. So going to be someone nearby, but Draconis also numbers not in favor of SGEU right here. Oh, Haxran may get jumped if he's not careful.
No
Oh
token
no,
fades
Fade's
on him.
There we go. There's a Luna with the quick response. Tempest comes in, they'll butt the tablet out on Draconis, and there's the Cataclysmic Assault in the background. Tempest needs to be careful. Master Vows running away, and just like that, the Legion team in retreat mode. Tempest is going to fall in the front ground. Bubbles comes in with a big kill. Phil Master of Arms needs to be careful, trying to get away right there. Gets Draconis on, but Draconis also bursting down. Power Master doing the Blazing Strikes. He gets the kill onto him, trying to run away now, save himself. Master of Arms, he's probably going to fall. Yes, he will. Fade also going to be the same story. So when Draconis dead,
Warby's
he actually
trying to pour it out, will
right
make
there.
it out. He did buy back, but that's Elemental Void is down. Master of Arms down, does have buyback. Ranged racks actually fell throughout all that, so actually another victory at least. So yeah, they picked out Draconis. That tablet though, the tablet, I believe it was Bubbles, his buddy, wasn't caught in it. He actually pushed Draconis out.
Yep.
That was crucial.
Yep. That was big.
Well, Draconis to put out a lot of damage at least before eventually falling.
Yeah, and that was obviously too. With that said, good thing he didn't use the Shrunken Head before he got caught in the Elemental Void, or else tablet would have been able to happen. So, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, Z-Free. No racks.
Well, not to League of Legends there, I think, and it's softcore gameplay.
Oh, it's actually happening. I didn't even know that.
There's a lot of things that happen in League, man, that we don't like to talk about here.
Good point. Good point. Top lane, you got four of them grouping up right here. The only one not with him currently is that Pebbles, but he's making his way. He's got the demonic press play, man. I believe that just got delivered to him. So
yeah.
And here we go with the top push. So the two sets the racks down. Are there going to be a third? That would definitely be the game right there. I think.
Watch the fade jump. Watch the fade jump. I mean, he's keeping that distance. Is able to open up on the Draconis if he's not quick enough. Still, if he sees that fade blink in, he can reactively dodge it. I mean, he really can. And probably will if it's just a fade. There
we go. There's that jump. Draconis is going to get caught. Tempest with the wall, of course, no Elemental Void. He turns around. Cataclysmic Assault going out for there, but he's taking a lot of damage. Draconis is going to fall in the background. Warby's still chasing. Warby's is somewhat dropping despite that Shrunken Head. He's going to barely stay alive, though. Yes, he's going to live in the end. No, he falls in the end. Kelfield was used, trapping several players in place. But Stay Green is pushing back SGEU. Bubble's going to use that take cover. He will not be able to port away, and he falls. A hat trick coming out for Slicks right there. And Stay Green is, if anything, just staying alive here in this game number one, man.
Big fight. Warby's not forced to use his buyback there or anything. And they made a point, man. Even though they're down, I mean, the gold spread isn't that bad right now. It honestly isn't. They do have buybacks. Master Arm saving up to 4K gold here. He's going to be a Geometer's Bane. Warbeast is just absolutely tearing apart this Draconis now. And I don't know. I feel like he's got to make sure with that Fade Initiate they either have well, they do have a Storm Spirit on Ophelia, but yeah, I mean, he's taking a lot of damage. They need to make sure he's just able to get back and not get wailed on by this Warbeast. And, well, no Elemental Void that fight, and they still crushed. That's the biggest...
To me, what was said about that fight was the fact that Draconis sitting back there, he got time to get the Cataclysmic Assault off and put some damage in. But, at times like this, we would usually see something like a Whispering Helm on a Draconis.
Right, the leech so he can actually hold up to this to this Warbeast that's wailing on him. Now we should go for the Demonic Breastplate. Something like that Symbol of Rage ultimately will be nice, but he had to buy back that once, is forcing these fights. Took a few deaths here.
Yeah, not able to pull it off in the end.
And Stay Green actually getting an experience advantage.
Yeah.
After that fight, so
you're right. 4,300 experience lead there for Stay Green. So man, oh man, a big fight, big hold by Stay Green, and I tell you what, if they come back from 2 sets of racks down against a team like SGEU, went 7-0 in the group stages,
looking like they may want to fight again.
That would be impressive.
Sooner than later, but sooner before they pressure the token. It's going to be harder because of the double sets of racks down. The creeps will keep pushing into the base. Also, when they go push again, they're not going to have that defense tower up.
This would be the 3rd Congo kill, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that will be bananas.
Okay. Obviously, that much more important here. We do have a vote to pause coming out from Stay Green. So, what was that? Oh, we do. Yeah, actually, so while we're in this pause, let's actually take a look at the last fight. Oh, gosh.
God, the auto how have they not turned it off on all the computers yet?
I don't know.
That's actually, come on.
Tempest is coming in right here. So, yeah, there's the no Elemental Void. You do see Draconis. He's
actually
what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's right there. If he had a Whispering Helm, maybe a different story.
I think he just needed to get back first.
Further,
I think
yeah.
At the start there, he just tried to man up to this Warbeast who was up in his face in the team, and they were supplying too much damage, so he really needed to kite back. They were caught in a pretty deep position here, and just really getting punished for it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, big burst damage. Draconis falls, and then you see the end of the fight. Bubbles, obviously, he tries to make his getaway to Zai, but even with the take cover, just not enough to get away.
Would you look at that, though? Not even actually going for the Geometer's Bane here, figuring they do have a lot of AoE, but well, just coming out of this Draconis primarily. Going for a Savage Mace pickup, so more of an impact item in this game where otherwise things are falling apart for him. 2 Minotaurs and a Ice Ogre can at least provide Draconis with that additional armor. I mean, going to be definitely great for fighting against this War Beast. And looks like he's hanging on to buyback more importantly right now than opting for armor, which he couldn't have enough of, honestly, right now.
So again, waiting to get the computer back on and load back into the game here.
Got to give credit to Sunda Mullins there, and fantastic initiations from Fade every single fight. And without those, there'd be no way they're even sitting a chance right here.
So again, this gives us a little bit more time to kind of explain where we're at here. So this is the bracket stage now. We made it to the bracket stage here of this Dreamhack Summer 2013 event. Now all 8 teams are still in the event, and every single team still has a chance to even win it all. But again, the bottom 4 teams, they actually just advanced to the losers bracket right away, whereas the top 4 teams got to the winners bracket, of course. So we're casting both this winner bracket semifinal as well as the next one, which is, of course, Complexity versus Vietnamese Dream Team, the number 2 and 3 seeds from the group stages. And both of these are obviously best out of 3 as well. So while we're doing this, the losers bracket is being covered by Colecast over there with Beefop and Cinder, I believe. Currently, they're doing the Myth versus the S2I versus ITS series, and then after Impunity taking on Kung Fu Gaming. So, and I don't know, would we have an update by chance? Let's see if there is an update.
On the game 1 over on the other side of things.
Yeah, it looks like they might be in the game here. Or this might be game 2, actually. Yeah, it probably is game 2, because it looks like this game is just starting. So let me just take the close stats real quick for an update this way. Yeah, it looks like Myth did win the first game.
I don't think that's really a surprise there of any team that
really.
We're not really expecting. I mean, if ITS were to shock us, I mean, that would be one of the most amazing things we've seen all tournament, man. I mean, Kung Fu Gaming has shown that they have a little bit of kick, but ITS consistently throughout the event just hasn't found their groove more than anything. It's clear that having to pick up those extra ringer players before the event just isn't working out for them. I have no doubt in my mind, had they the original roster coming out of Russia, we would have seen a lot more of a, not just that not respectable, but I mean, in terms of play, a lot more of a respectable team.
Yeah. Well, 40 minutes into this game right now, and again, it seemed like for a good chunk of time there, SGEU was...
Can you imagine the disaster of a Kongor attempt led into a one-team fight by SG?
Yeah.
Led into a Kongor kill by SG.
It can mean a victory for them,
now.
a comeback. I mean, this is on the level. If Stay Green comes, it would have to be one of the better comebacks we've seen on Oncast ever. I mean, you're down to something Rax, you're down against Draconis, who's had amazing farm.
There's a lot on the line right now.
A lot on the line.
Dreamhack winners back at playoffs. Game 1, of course, they still have a chance, even if they're taken out here. Potential 2 more games to make it up.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me to an extent of course, last Dreamhack we did have that TT Esports versus Q Squad series.
Oh yeah, with that huge comeback with the Swiftblade.
Yep, Slicks at the time playing for TT Esports.
They weren't down racks though, were they?
I don't know if they're down racks, but they were down by like 20,000 golden experience.
20 to 30K.
It was ridiculous stats that they were down by.
We've seen the Wild Soul comebacks before, but this would still be. You know, at the time they weren't playing with they were playing against QSQ, which QSQ was great, but they weren't the top team in the event, so they struggled to actually find their place. And coming back against the number 1 seed in this tournament right now, Stay Green EU.
Yeah, this would have to be
a true feat
the
of
more
mastery.
I'm thinking about it, you're right. It's this would be a very, very memorable comeback here.
Probably the most impressive I've seen.
It's impressive so far, but if they do go the way, that would be something. And again, this is just game 1 of this best of 3. So no matter what happens, at least another one. SGEU making it known that, well, they're ready to go, so just...
Another thing about a Whispering Helm pickup break is, you know what he can do. Charm an additional Skeleton King for his team to have on hand for potentially interrupting another... I mean, say that he gets a Restoration Stone eventually, even, or... Ophelia's dies, or just the timing of it.
Like right now, he doesn't have a Skeleton King like you're pointing out, so... Could be useful.
Of course, one that he takes would be one that Ophelia could ultimately take, but yeah, I'm just saying. Just an additional asset there. Actually, not on the map now that I'm looking at it, so Not really going to have one anytime soon either.
Yep, Minotaur. Yep, nothing yet.
Alright, let's get it on.
Here we go. Resuming with game number 1 here of this best set of 3. So Fade is in Viz currently. He is level 16 on top of that. He's not going to really find an opportunity though. He's just going to continue pushing back with this team. Again, we talked about though Conqueror. This would be the 3rd Conqueror kill, and that does mean the good old bananas to be coming out here for either side that gets it. So Stay Green, they're making it clear that they are very aware that Conqueror is up and he could be a likely possibility, so they constantly are sending units over there. But as you can see on the map, SGEU not really concerned with that just yet. I have a feeling
they're looking for an opening angle. I mean,
yeah, that was actually close.
Team semi nearby, yeah, but Tempest isn't though, and they're not really trying to fight without this Tempest here. Just trying to get some recon more than anything. Illusion Rune,
yeah.
placed by Master, actually getting aggro of Conqueror. I think he should have just placed it in there instead, but
in the end, no big deal there. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Haxer was really now just trying to farm out for that Whispering Helm. I find it hard to believe that he's not. Obviously, a smart enough player to definitely know the situation here, how beneficial that would be. So.
Yeah, but you gotta be worried, man. Once once Warbeast finishes the Demonic Breastplate, it opens way to a Brutalizer, man. With that Brutalizer, that lockdown onto the Draconis, if they find the angle, especially with this Elemental Void, and the other, I mean, he's gonna have to spend a lot of this fight just running away from the Warbeast at that point. Symbol of Rage, Whispering Helm or not, get bashed by that Warbeast, and
yeah,
gonna have a bad time.
There's a Demonic Breastplate finish, as well as a Void Talisman picked up by Bubbles, actually.
Aluna does have the Bound Eye, but currently down, and they have perfect vision of Conqueror here, thanks to the Warplace with Zephyr. Does have a Word of Revelation, however, so on top of the Bound Eye, just really making sure he's on top of the counter warding. And
yeah, there's the Whispering Helm purchase, by the way. It's having it delivered, no buyback, but that's because they want to get Conqueror.
No buyback for Warbeast either.
Yeah,
and actually, Stay Green, once again, they still do have most of theirs, so they're worried about this. Actually, they know that this could be an absolute disaster. Not going to have a buyback on Draconis. Not going to have a buyback on Aluna. They're waiting for the lanes to push out top lane as well in their favor. So with that tower on the brink of destruction, and they do have a siege unit with that wave. Let me look behind. No additional one coming yet.
Both teams very, very timid right here. That Storm Speed on Ophelia obviously could be big as well. But just chipping in the damage.
Actually, no one on the Hellborn team, maybe Bubbles, but no one else can buy back. Actually, I don't even think Bubbles can if he dies.
This would be a big deal. Here we go. Fade, kind of running up. Obviously,
Warbeast pushes insanely fast, man. So does Tempest.
Fade, he knows it's a Bound Eye, but he doesn't know about the Rev Ward, honestly. He's playing around that Rev Ward. So what am I going to be careful? There's a jump right there. Going on a Fade. He's going to be picked up right off the bat. And that's the opening SGE was looking for.
Instant buyback, however. Both the buybacks out now for Fade. Shrunken Head was used by Draconis. It was used by Pebbles.
Yeah.
This is time to back up, reset.
They went very aggressive there. A little too aggressive, you could even say.
Now they might be the ones playing aggressor on Conqueror.
That could be a blessing in disguise for SG. How about that? They got the Shrunken Head uses there. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Pretty much they're in the same spot as before, so. And now Conqueror being attempted by Stay Green. Looks like they're not actually going to be able to do anything about it, man.
Wow.
They're being boxed out here.
How about that? Are you kidding
And
me?
they get the...
Oh, my
God!
It wasn't stolen. Shrunken Head goes up and Master Rossi tablets over the ledge. Zai's going to be fine. But in jumps Fade actually wants this kill. Stormspringer needs on Bubbles. Has the kill field. Can he actually get away? Another takeover. The Tempest ultimate going to lock him down as well as Ophelia. There's the cone of Bubbles. Ophelia's going to fall as well. This is just falling apart here for SGEU. Luna's going to be picked up.
Bubbles
and
can buy back, but Aluna can't.
Pushing in. Holy crap. What is going on?
The base, however, the base. Got to defend Pyromancer.
True.
You know, as far as support heroes left at home alone to defend the base, Pyromancer is on top of it, man.
He's going to do all that he can. I mean, taking quite a bit.
Bubbles
Meanwhile, back at the
back.
base right here. Warbeast actually in some trouble. He's dropping a half-life. He doesn't have Metamorphosis just yet. He doesn't have Bananas, though.
Shrunken Head is up on Draconis. Still Fade stunned. Gonna actually wind up missing here. They're gonna make a hold. Token.
Jeez.
What's the status on Token? It's still up. They still have the bananas. They still have the Token. Is Stay Green actually going to be able to pull this off?
Again, at this rate,
what was he doing trying to jump in there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would have been to be fair, it would have been a tablet hell of a ninja, and he was able to tablet over the ledge after. He had an idea, but it was a risky idea, especially when to an extent you kind of have a lead. But at the same time, if you give up the token there easily, You know, is that lead as significant
Probably
anymore?
figured
Not
it was
really.
worth the risk given the buyback,
Yeah, exactly.
but well, little they know they'd actually wind up catching a Luna and Ophelia as well in the end.
I still can't get over the fact how one team's initiating hero on Fate dies after a beautiful pick, but that leads into a Conger kill for them.
Holy
Are you
shit.
kidding me?
This is where it gets real. Not only did he get the token,
wow.
we saw Doombringer picked up in this moment of desperation.
Wow.
And I can say, Bray, I actually agree with it. 100% right now. All is
They're
on
all
the line.
in. I mean, this
They've
is
got
the
the
time
token.
to win, if any. Your base is going to be constantly pushed by the bottom and middle lane. So, yeah, I agree.
Master of Arms, they're not really able to take him out early in these fights either. He's positioning back. He has phenomenal range. Surprising that most people don't realize this, but Master of Arms with that maxed out, what does it actually call it? The Pulse Cannon maxed out actually grants him 650 range. So, pretty damn big compared to most range heroes there once it is maxed out, 50 extra. And it's just, this is coming down to the final moments here.
Doombringer. Man, oh
They don't want to push. They want to wait this token out, especially given that he is Doombringer. 4.5 minutes remaining.
If the game wasn't epic enough, as if it wasn't. I mean, Slicks just really enhances it.
I hope this just is a sneak peek as to what the rest of the playoffs will look like. Man.
Again, not only is this the first game of the series, this is the first game of the whole bracket stage. I mean, we got plenty of games to come. Are you freaking kidding me, man? I don't know if I can handle all this. This is just intense. But nonetheless, Master of Arms, he's got another 2,800 gold. Again, you're all in, so I mean, would he even save up for buybacks at this point, or is he just really even going all in? So another item pickup here.
No, he's
perhaps.
truly going all in.
Go Geometer's main here, I guess.
Got rid of his Energizer for a reason.
Yeah.
Played mages for a port, but oh man, look at Tempest too. Not that far off of a Restoration Stone. Actually picking up Rift Shards maybe ultimately deciding, or was it going to be a Shroud?
Yeah.
Still deciding on his pickup here. Ended up selling it in the end.
Very timid time now for both teams.
Maybe he didn't realize it looks actually it might be a Shroud because he did sell it. Didn't have enough gold here. Now I believe 30 gold. I believe it's 3,300.
Here, let's take a look back now at that play. Well, we do have again more dead time here before that big fight happens. So this was the Kongor fight, of course, going to be coming up right here. So this is where Fate initially was. Again, he was turning around that ward of ref. He ends up getting jumped. But look at those shrunken heads, both in Draconis and Pebbles, thinking that there was going to be further initiation follow-up. But instead of doing that, State Green said, okay, he's dead. He's going to buy back immediately. We'll come back in. And all of a sudden, completely different story. Again, they come back. We see right here, there's the Bubbles attempt with the portal key in. He tries to ninja, but Master of Arms just a little too
fast
quick.
About it. Pushes himself over the edge.
But then Fade follows up, and all hell breaks loose from there, man. I mean, he falls, Ophelia falls, so Tempest catching Ophelia as well. Obviously not going to save him, and then a Luna goes down, and
so not only getting the Kongor kill, but converting into 2 or 3 additional hero kills. Yeah, 3 additional hero kills, and the buyback brutalizer. This is what I was worried about, Breaky. They've got that brutalizer on War Beast.
This is what I'm worried about for that. They got the Restoration Stone on Tempest.
They actually did finish it while I was looking away watching that replay, so everything going in their favor. At this point, man, SG winning a fight, even with the symbol of Rage on Draconis, I don't know about that. It's
no, yeah, I 100% agree with you. I mean, you get a symbol of Rage under Draconis. I mean, sure, that's big, but I think State Green's the one to control this game right now. I mean, I don't think that's going to be a big difference maker in the long story.
Of course, the 2 sets of racks, but in the end, that won't matter. 1-1 team fight here outside the base, and they can take it home.
This is kind of interesting because the Token of Life is wearing off here. For
State Green willing to make a point here, man, that they came here to Sweden to win. They were the favorites going into this event, and while it looked like they were down for the account, this would cause quite a bit of turmoil in SGEU's ranks.
Assassin Shroud, you mentioned that. I mean, the Token of Life has just over a minute 15 now. Very important.
Now they're forcing this fight.
Oh, there we go. The jump onto Draconis. The one Tempest ultimate. It's going to go full duration. He has another one to go. The second Tempest ultimate, and State Green probably just pulled the comeback of the tournament right there. Unbelievable. Pebbles is going to jump in right here. State Green EU trying to make a response.
They still have
going
Token
back
up.
in.
They still have Bananas up.
Pebbles is dead. Bubbles is going to fall here. Draconis cataclysmic assault. He's trying to
Draconis can't buy back.
He falls. Stay green again in such good spot right here. Is this going to be the game? Master
I
of
think
Oz
they
comes
just took the
up.
tournament back.
There goes Pebbles, falling quickly. Talbot's away. He is going to be picked off like in the end. Bubbles trying to maybe do something. He goes down.
No one can buy
Votes
back.
to
That's going to
concede.
be the throne.
Game number
Oh
one.
my
will go
God.
to Stay green. Oh my
Are you
gosh.
kidding me,
I don't know
Breaky?
what to say after that. I don't think we say anything. We
By
just-
and far,
just let us soak
the
in.
most impressive comeback I've ever seen. I feel like a fool for even doubting the fact that they might be able to pull that one out. You know, I didn't feel comfortable in SGEU's lead, but holy crap, what a game.
I mean,
Look at the
it
looks
speaks
on
for
their face.
itself.
They're
Yeah,
actually
look at
looking
that.
after.
Pumped as they should be. Wow. I mean, I can only imagine what it feels like to be in their shoes
Holy
right now.
crap. Broken spirits, maybe no
Yeah.
longer, man. They're going to be charged here going into the rest of the tournament. And once again, that was the game they needed. More importantly, if they lost
yeah.
that, suffering the fourth defeat in a row, that could have been crippling. I think they just found their stride.
Wow.
And
man.
if they convert that, imagine if they were to go all the way after that, man. Just take that. Imagine the
we
story.
could look back at this game and be like, you know, they lost 3 games in a row.